Oh, hello. I'm just trying out Opsis's technology. This is an AI firm that measures your emotions. So let's see how that goes. You can see Dixon's emotions are being measured as well, my cameraman here. So if I grimace, I can see here on the right-hand side that I'm going very close to pleased. What if I frown? Oh, what does that say? Toasted? No. Frustrated. Well, that's about right. Because coming to you live here from Innovfest Unbound 2018, it is very noisy indeed. Wow, what a very interesting piece of technology. And Stefan Winkler from Opsis is here to tell us a little bit more about it. You're a Singaporean company. How did you start out?
Well, we started out last year. The technology was developed at A-Star for the past few years. We've been working on the technology behind it, doing the research, and now we decided to spin off and commercialize the solutions as Opsis.
Right, and as we stand here talking to you live at Innovfest Unbound 2018, where are you going to go next? What is the big thing that you're here to talk about today?
I think there's a lot of interesting industry verticals that we're looking at right now. So we've seen human resources applications, for example. Human resources is going to digital formats much more, using chatbots, using video interviews. So this is one of the areas where we help companies in scoring candidates based on their behavior during an interview session, for example. And then companies can use that to pre-screen or rank candidates based on how they react to certain interview questions, how friendly they look during the interview, and how they behave in general as they respond to these questions.
Really? That sounds much more like a lie detector. Are you able to tell whether or not somebody's telling the truth?
We don't go to that level, no.
But you could?
Perhaps, we haven't tested it, but you know, we read the emotions from the face. So we see what emotions you display externally. We don't know what's going down, deep down inside you.
Right, and so if you're an interview candidate, obviously you're going to have to be pristine so that you don't let your emotions show too much. Is that where this is ending up, or what is it that this technology can be used for then?
So HR is one example. Another one is digital signage, where essentially marketers, content creators want to know how people react to their content, to their ads, to their trailers, how it is received, does it attract attention, and we can tell them what is the audience reaction to different types of content. They can feed that back to their clients. We're also working in retail, hospitality, entertainment, where it's essentially about measuring customer satisfaction, looking at how are people enjoying the experience that they have, be it shopping, be it at a venue like this. Is everyone having a good time? Are there issues that we can fix? How does it relate to the sales we're making in a certain outlet? How does it relate to the product layout in the store and things like that?
Wow, awesome. I can imagine politicians might want to use this too, right? If I make this promise, let's see whether I get any votes. Is that again, one of the applications?
It could be. In fact, we've analyzed one of the presidential debates and used that as a showcase for our solution as well. How do people respond to candidates, and how are candidates perceived by the audience? We can measure that objectively and provide objective comparisons of candidates in this way.
Wow, that sounds fascinating, and we might actually find out more honest voting intentions from facial recognition than from the polls, by how people react rather than what they say.
That's right. So one idea is that this can replace surveys and polls to some extent. I mean, polls is maybe a bit far-fetched, but certainly surveys or product group, focus groups, we ask people opinions on products, on companies, on brands. You can capture their reactions, their very spontaneous reactions much more interactively and much more quicker than you can with a survey form.
Two quick final questions. The first is, how can you make sure that the reaction is in fact normal? Because if I go up to the monitor again and do a fake smile, how will it know that it's fake rather than a real, genuine smile, Stefan?
So in our training, we've actually taken care of this, because in the training data we use, we have implemented certain ways to make sure that the faces that we look at are actually genuine smiles and also perceived as genuine by the labelers, the annotators. So the database is actually very clean in that way, and it's one of our strengths of our product that we're able to distinguish, genuine emotions, genuine expressions from fake ones.
And finally, you're here at the invitation of Accenture. What role have they played in the success of your company so far?
Oh, Accenture has been very supportive. We're at their innovation center, where our demo is also on display, and where they show their clients what our solution can do. And they've linked us up with a few companies in the retail space that we're also exploring further and looking at further collaborations, both locally and internationally.
We wish you the best of luck. Thanks again. Stefan Winkler from Opsis here at the Innovfest Unbound 2018. Sands Convention and Exhibition Centre in Singapore. If you're watching us live, there is still an opportunity for you to come here to the Accenture exhibit and meet any of the 50 startups that Accenture has brought along here to exhibit as well. I'll see you in the next live report here on the Accenture YouTube channel. You can also follow Accenture on Twitter. That's Accenture ASEAN in order to be alerted to the next interviews. See you shortly. So when Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un come to Singapore for the June 12 summit, you'll also then be able to see whether their reactions are genuine.
Right. I just don't know if that is very much a live event or a public event,
right,
or more of a closed-door session. So the US debates were, of course, very public, yes, so we're able to do some of that analysis.
Right.
But it will certainly help people to better understand, how candidates behave, and they can support them in their decisions.
Right. And does ethnicity play a role?
It does. So there are certain cultural differences in emotions, how emotions are expressed, how different emotions are